Landlords often find it hard to determine what goes into a lease agreement. This contract sets the foundation for your experience and that of the tenant. Therefore, you should use it to protect yourself and explain to the tenants what they must do. In this video, we're going to learn more about Colorado residential lease agreements for rental properties. So let's dive in. Lease types. Whether it's a commercial or residential lease agreement, you get a signed contract between you and the prospective tenants. This document states the rules associated with living there, which include monthly rent payments, security deposits, recurring fees, and more. Sublease. Generally, a sublease is similar to a lease agreement. The tenant might decide to ask someone else to live on the property and take care of everything. Both parties agree that the subleasee must pay the rent each month for the premises. Landlords usually have to approve of the subleasee and tenants first. What to include? A standard residential lease agreement often includes these things. Rent. Colorado doesn't offer rent control options, so landlords can raise the rent within the rental agreement as often as they wish. However, tenants have the right to withhold rent when the landlord fails to fix things that breach a warranty of habitability for the premises. Generally, the tenant agrees to pay at the beginning of each month. Security deposit. There is no security deposit maximum required for Colorado, but county laws could change. It's often that the security deposit can be capped for lease agreements of all types. The landlord is required to return the security deposit to the tenant within 1 month. However, that is lowered to 72 hours if some hazardous condition required the person to leave. Repairs. Landlords are required to respond within 24 hours to fix any problems and must begin working within that time frame if it's an emergency. Otherwise, non-emergency repairs must be started within 96 hours. Landlord access. Landlords aren't required to give notice of entry, so they may enter the premises for maintenance and repairs, showings to prospects, and emergencies. However, a 24-hour notice is recommended. Mandatory disclosure. Colorado doesn't have many required disclosures to include in lease agreements, but you must follow state laws and include this one for potential tenants. Lead-based paint disclosure. This disclosure applies to rental units built before 1978, and federal law states that you must disclose the risk associated with lead-based paints. The paint can chip and dust could expose people. Therefore, Colorado landlords must fill out and attach a lead-based paint disclosure form within the Colorado rental lease agreement. Give the tenant an EPA-approved pamphlet about its dangers. Provide other reports and records about the hazards or presence of known lead-based paint on the premises. Addendums. The Colorado rental lease agreement disclosures aren't required by Colorado law, but they can help to reduce future conflicts between the property owner and original tenant, reducing legal liability for Colorado landlords. Name and address of landlord. This helps create lines of communication for notices and demands between the landlord and the new tenant. Marijuana usage. State law allows the landlord to restrict marijuana use to non-smoking methods and control where the tenant smokes so everyone may enjoy the property. Move-in checklist. The landlord should provide an itemized list of any damages to the property so that the tenant knows they are responsible for anything that happens during the lease term. A landlord can attach that to the rental application, lease, or a separate signed document. Late fees and return checks. The landlord should disclose in the lease what late fees and bounce check fees they charge on a monthly basis. Colorado doesn't limit how high they can be, but it's generally safe to do about 10% of the monthly rent. Bed bug disclosure. If rental units have a history of bed bug infestation, the landlord should provide information about handling it on the property. This tells the tenant about their obligations and requirement to cooperate. Mold disclosure. Landlords should disclose the mold status of the property in the lease, protecting against liability because of a tenant's negligence. Using DoorLoop. Many people have trouble coming up with a master lease that they can reuse over and over for each tenant. There's no need to bring licensed attorneys into the mix to ensure that each state statute is met. DoorLoop offers property management software that lets you upload your customized Colorado rental application and Colorado commercial lease agreement within minutes, autofilling them with your information. E-signature. Have you mastered e-signatures, and are they easy to get done in a few seconds? Well, with DoorLoop, e-signatures can be done in literally just a handful of clicks, and you can also create lease templates that are reusable and auto-filled with each tenant's information. That brings the entire lease creation and signing process down to a few minutes instead of hours. Lease signing sets the tone for a tenant's experience on the property, so making the process super easy and efficient is key. DoorLoop does that and more, making tenant attraction simple from day one. DoorLoop also integrates with top listing sites such as Zillow, Trulia, HotPads, Apartments.com, and so much more, which lets you attract your tenants on autopilot. You can also make sure you're bringing in the most reliable tenants by screening your prospects in seconds through an integration with TransUnion. For more information about DoorLoop, learn more, or be sure to schedule a free demo. All those links will be in the description below. You can also build your own using a free form to create a contract between you and the tenant. With that being said, we hope this video helped you gain some insight along your property management journey. Be sure to like and subscribe for more helpful advice on property management from DoorLoop. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.